Hey everyone, it's Mr. Joseph here, and this week we're going to go over items part 2. Pretty much this is a two-part series. The first part we went over the first half of the items, and this part we're going to go over the rest of the items. If you haven't checked out the first part, check on our YouTube channel. There should be a video on the first part. Alright, continuing from last week, there's a total of 23 items in the game. This week we'll be going over the rest of the items. Last week we went over 12 items, and today we'll be going over 11 of the 23 items that they have in the game. Quick recap on what the item does. These items, they will either give you a boost to catch up in the race, or sabotaging abilities to slow your opponents down. Sometimes the item does both. Alright, let's continue with the items. Alright, first item for this week is Blooper. Blooper squirts ink on the vehicles ahead of you and briefly obscuring the driver's view. It pretty much blinds the other racers, and it gives them a hard time to see where they're going, and they might bump into walls. Next item is Lightning. Pretty much lightning, when you activate it, it strikes all your opponents and it causes them to lose their items, and it also temporarily shrinks them, reducing their speed. Pretty much everyone's half your size and you're double the speed of every character. It helps you catch up or get a lead in the race. Superstar. This makes you temporarily invincible and increases your speed. Any vehicle you hit will also be knocked over, and it'll make them spin, and it'll pretty much give you a very huge lead whoever you bump into. Alright, Fire Flower. This lets you throw fireballs for a short time pressing the left trigger, which is activating your items. Any vehicle you hit will spin out of control. This is very dangerous because the fireballs, they can bounce off walls and sometimes it might hit you, so you want to be very careful when using this item. Okay, next item is the Boomerang Flower. This boomerang can pretty much be thrown up to 3 times. Any driver it hits, it will spin them out of control and help you gain the lead. Alright, next item is Piranha Plant. This item is very cool because it temporarily attaches to the front of your vehicle, and it pretty much is a hook, and it grabs onto whatever's in front of you and it'll pull, and it pretty much gives you a momentum, and it lunges and gives you a speed boost. Okay, Super Horn. This pretty much sends any vehicles or items near you flying and spinning. Pretty much it could push items away from the opponents so they can't grab it, or can knock opponents to a different direction they don't want to go. Alright, this is probably the most overpowered item in the game. It's the Crazy 8. Pretty much it gives you 8 items, and it pretty much orbits around your vehicle like a halo, and you pretty much press the item button every time you want to use it, but it only uses the item that's currently in front of your vehicle. But it gives you a total of 8 items. It's crazy. Alright, the next item, people say it's useless, but it is very, very useful because it's a coin. People didn't know this, but the more coins you have, the faster your vehicle will go. So throughout the race, if you keep collecting coins, eventually your vehicle will be the fastest vehicle in the race. Alright, next item is Feather. Pretty much it launches your vehicle into the air, avoiding bananas and shells so it doesn't hit you, but also during battling mode, if you hit an opponent, it steals one of their balloons. It's very strong. Okay, the last item is Boo. This pretty much makes your vehicle temporarily ghostly. It makes it very transparent, and pretty much it allows you to go through bananas, and it makes you invincible through shells. You also might be able to steal an item from one of your opponents if you pass through them. That's pretty much all the items in the game. Next week we'll be learning about the characters and their names. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for checking out my content. Bye. Bye everyone.